You're watching the Keith Kresin Show, news and notes about Lady Trojan basketball at Beloit High on the Boden Sports Network. Keith Kresin back in the saddle of varsity basketball, coaching the Beloit Lady Trojans. You're director of transportation here at Beloit, kind of how you got in. First of all, tell us a little bit about your job as director of transportation.
Well, I'll tell you, started driving a bus years ago back when I used to work for the Wakanda district and just kind of drove. And then when we moved and came over to Beloit, with our kids coming to Beloit to school and stuff, got involved driving the bus over here. And that was when I was farming and stuff. And then just was kind of a school bus driver, coach, farmer for quite a few years and enjoying that there. And then after the previous transportation director here in Beloit just kind of backed off a little bit, I stepped up and took charge of the transportation here in Beloit, as well as 298 Lincoln also. So I'm in charge of 2 school districts, routing the buses and assigning activities and stuff. But it's been a pretty good little gig for us.
Well, Coach, you spent time at Wakanda East, St. John's Tipton, and now Beloit. Seems like as coaches, we all take a little step and get a little bit better at each spot. Kind of talk about the early years at Wakanda and a little bit about St. John's Tipton, and then now at Beloit, how you're going to use those stepping stones to be a better coach.
Well, you know, over 30 years ago when I got involved in athletics at Wakanda, I was blessed to have a good buddy, Todd Clover, get involved with me. We were classmates and stuff. We were kind of a little bit two opposites that met together, and we became great friends. We were friends before that there, but I was in charge of football and he was in charge of basketball, and it just worked like clockwork, you know, having the same kids, 2 different kind of styles of coaches that met in the middle, that got the best of all the kids we got. And when it comes down to coaching, it's, you know, you might know the X's and O's or the psychological game of what goes on, but usually it comes how we relate all of this as coaches to the kids that you're dealt with, because in high school there's no recruiting or anything like that there, so you just got to turn kids into believing in themselves. And when they believe in themselves and their teammates, it just kind of steps like that there. So we had some good runs in football and basketball over there, and then again, our kids ended up going to the South School here in Beloit and got involved in football and basketball and track down there. Again, everywhere you stop with working with different coaches affects, you know, you learn something all the time. You're always learning. Different kids come around, and you know, you just try to make the most of the moments. And we had some good runs, and again, over there in football, in basketball, and track, we had a good track program, and you know, and then ended up landing here at Beloit, taking over, came over, and I was still driving the bus, but I got involved right away with junior high basketball, and again, that was great. But one thing about Beloit after I got here, I'll tell you, everybody really made you feel at home. Kind of went back to the old Wakanda days where, you know, the administrators got great support, you know, no matter what, they let their teachers teach, they let their coaches coach, and just a great group over here at Beloit, and being involved really helped. Because driving the bus, hauling, you know, the football coaches and the teams around and stuff, it was, I mean, it's just great getting to know the kids and stuff. But again, we had a nice run in junior high basketball. We feel like we got the most out of the kids that we had, and, you know, then just stepping up into where I'm at now, you know, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really excited about Lady Trojan basketball.
Well, Coach, sometimes college players are All-American high school, All-State high school players, and All-American college players don't make the best coaches, but for 7 years, Shauna Porter-Remus ran a nice program, 80 and 66 in 7 years, including their best year last year of 15 and 6 in the 23-24 year. you got to spend some time helping Shauna Porter and the Shauna Porter Remus in last year's 15-6. Just kind of talk about Shauna Porter Remus and your time spent last year on a very good basketball team.
Well, I had a great time last year helping out, kind of filling in because Coach Jones was going through some health problems, so I stepped in and helped him as much as I could last year, especially doing junior high. But on to Shauna again, a graduate of Wakanda East High School. She was a phenomenal high school player as well as into the college down at Fort Hays State. I coached her brothers, and you know they were good athletes. But Shauna, she did a good job here for us at Beloit, and you know, I've told her, actually, matter of fact, yesterday, I said, the easiest thing is if you would have stuck around here, because it's really easy to just step into the gym and have the coach tell you what's going on and go from there. You know, you're not dealing with media people bugging you to do an interview, or paper people wanting pictures, or all that stuff kind of adds up a little bit. But Shauna, she ran a nice ship here, and you know we're looking to kind of continue to build on the tradition of Beloit Lady Trojan basketball.
Well, Coach, you Keith Riley out at Hill City, I think this is his 57th year coaching boys basketball, once told me, he said the only problem with basketball is it involves 2 years, 24-25, 5 holidays, and 2 seasons, winter and spring. How do you develop early in the season, such as the last couple of weeks? And Keith always said there's 4 different segments of a season: the first, the middle, and the last. How do you put it all together for your team to try to improve in those 3 segments?
Well, you know, summer workouts are big and key into everything that leads up. Again, with what was in place last year with Coach Remus and stuff, I debated on, trying to run some of the same stuff that we did last year to make the girls a little more comfortable earlier in the season, because again, I told Coach Remus that, if she was there, we'd come out and I think we'd be on fire at the beginning of the year and continue to build throughout the season. Again, me stepping in charge, we did have summer workouts and got learning things, but again, coming around, I look to probably, I'm not going to say start out slow. I want to come out like a banty rooster, that's got a match under it or something, but I'm realistic. The girls are basketball's basketball, everybody says. They're adjusting to my style a little bit, and I think they've adjusted really well. We got 18 young ladies that I think are busting their rears to make themselves better and also get better, but well as understand their teammates. I think we'll start out a little slow because we'll be a little tentative, because I'm one that you got to know every set, no matter what's going on in the situation, and you got to be in shape. But I look to just continue getting better day by day, week by week, then month by month, because I'm going to say around the Colby tournament in January, that's when we're not peaking yet. There's when I think we'll kind of have the package together to where, we'll be playing good. We're going to play good before then, and we're going to win quite a few ball games, I'd like to think, because I know these girls like to compete. But I think as we move on into playoff time, that's when everything will be coming together, and we could make a very nice run, if we can stay away from the injury bug and sickness at the right time and grab that most important rebound at the right time, or make a crucial free throw to, win a tight game or something. So, I'm really excited about the ladies here at Beloit.
Owen Chiropractic, TJ and the crew are proud to help you live better, pain-free lives. CBD products and foot levelers. Also, your spine is the backbone of your entire body and needs the proper alignment for you to maintain proper health. Call Owen Chiropractic, 785-738-5353. Proud supporter of Beloit Athletics. Well, Coach, as we look at the North Central Activities Association Conference. Southeast Saline was 15-6 last year. Beloit was 15-6. Rep County was 0-21. Ellsworth 11-12. Sacred Heart was 14-8. Minneapolis 16-6. Of course, we all were there the night that Minneapolis kind of stole one on their home court with the last-second layup, and that little rivalry between Minneapolis and Beloit's gone on for years. You're going to get involved in it. Lions is a newbie in the conference, 1-19 last year. They come from the always tough Central Kansas League, and it really ought to be called the 4-5H Kansas League, because Hoyington, Heston, Haven, Hillsboro, Halstead kind of rule the roost in the Central Kansas League. But just talking general about the NCAA, and you're just getting involved with it, with the different coaches, and a little bit more physical league, a little bit more man-to-man league, a little bit more set plays in the NCAA.
Yeah, again, the NCAA, there's some good teams in it, and we're one of them good teams, but we just got to focus in on what we do and continue to get better. But it's funny because Coach Weatherman at Minneapolis, we go back to the old days of when we used to rival when he was coaching 1A basketball, and his dad and Shauna down at Southeast coached against her father, so there's kind of some ties with some of the coaches, and being involved with the junior high program, getting to know some of the coaches that we played, helps you develop them relationships. But there's some good rivalries here, but I look to finish, be one of the top teams and win the conference. I mean, that's always, I think, my key every year going into a season, no matter what, is win your conference. No matter how bad you may think, or your supporters may think you might be because you lost somebody from graduation from previous years or what have you, we bring a great nucleus back as far as varsity playing time and stuff, which will be key into developing some of the JV players that were JV players last year, I should say. That's key. But the league, we just got to go out and be prepared and battle. And that's something that I think in high school sports, getting yourself up ready to play 2 games a week, whether or not it's a road trip and away, or 2 away games in 1 week, or what have you. It's just a mindset that getting the high school kids ready to play, is big key, and we'll just continue to plug away.
Well, Coach, your 24-25 schedule looks like 12 league games in the NCAA, 3 tournament games out at the Orange and Black Classic. Last year's participants in the Orange and Black Classic were Colby, Ulysses, Beloit, Wellington, Olathe East, Goodland, and Lamar, Colorado. You never knew who's going to show up at Colby, but any of those teams, and whoever they have out there, it's a great test, middle of the season, and kind of something the kids and coaches from Beloit have always looked forward to.
Yeah, it really is, because it kind of gives you that, I'm going to say, that state-type atmosphere, because you're on the road playing good teams, bigger schools, to where you're sleeping in a different bed for a couple nights, and you're preparing for like it's when you're playing at state, and I think that's nice as far as it gives you that atmosphere. But where it falls again, I'm looking to that. There's when we hope to be coming together and playing some of our better ball, as far as not having to think on how we're doing it. But it's always a good time out there, and Beloit always represents itself really well, no matter what team goes out there. The Beloit teams in the past always play hard, boys and girls both. I mean, they just leave it all out there on the floor. And again, it just kind of prepares them for the next step when it comes playoff time.
Well, Coach, your non-conference schedule includes 5 teams. Going to start off with a bang on Friday night. Go to Concordia on Friday, host Clay Center on Tuesday, and then start your first league foe on Friday. as I said, Coach Riley always had segments in his season on his schedule, and what I would like to see a tougher schedule than what you've got in the state of Kansas on the girls' side in Concordia, Clay Center, and Southeast to start the season, especially as a new coach.
And I've always said, it goes back to when Coach Clover and I were at footballing over at Wakanda. It's like, yeah, it's nice to go, 8-0 or what have you. But, there's sometimes you'd start out, with 2-3 losses, and it's like, the natives are getting uptight, and it's like, man, it's like, well, we played the number 1 team ranked in the state and the number 3, and, a sub-state finalist, so it's like you get 2-3 losses, and it's like, wow, people don't understand. It's like, you play them tough teams. Yeah, it's nice to win, but competing and learning how to win against good teams. So I think that helps prepare you, especially the mindset of the kids, that it's like, you don't just show up and play. That's why back in the eastern part of the state, when you play a below 500 team, they're better than most of the teams. I'm talking a little more, I'm going to say small school 1A type basketball, but it even feeds down into the 3A too, where you got to show up and play your league foe each and every night. You're preparing for that state championship game, because you look at the TVL out there, the number of teams that they always represent in the playoffs, no matter what sport it is. That's how I think playing good competition kind of helps prepare you. Yeah, it's good to get the W's, but you always have to win the games that you should throughout your season, or compete and, sneak up on a couple throughout the season that, whether or not you have an injury or something, somebody's got to step up and play. And, I like the way our season is set up. I've never had a qualm with any administrator that put 4 state-ranked teams or what have you, because it betters you.
Beloit Country Club, 3167 Halley Trail Road, 785-738-3184. Now taking Christmas and company party reservations, open Wednesday through Saturday. Best food, best drinks. Jesse and her staff does a great job at the Beloit Country Club. Now taking spring memberships for both golf and social activities. Well, Coach, now we get down to the roster, and like we said, you replaced Shauna Porter Remus this year. She was 80 and 66 and 70 years with her best year. You had a hand in that, 15 and 6 last year. Unfortunately, you guys are losing 3 great guards in Peyton Remus, Marley File, and Ashlyn Knight. Talk a little bit about getting to work with those all-league, all-state guards, and how you plan to replace those 3 young ladies.
Well, I think the big key for us this year, and we'll go back to Peyton Remus. She did a great job for Beloit High when she was in high school. She was just that general that every coach likes to have. She wasn't afraid to, she was a good communicator on the floor and off the floor. She knew what was going on. She understood the game. That's our key focus this year, because we have options. It isn't like we're stuck with John Boden running the one spot, and it's like he can't dribble, he can't chew gum, he can't walk. We got options. But that's going to be key, and we got some quality girls that, again, competition only makes you better. And we're seeing competition in practice. So that's the girls even know that we got to replace her. Ashlyn, she was a great defender for us, and she played defense. She created offense for us last year from her defensive style. We're going to miss her, from the defensive end, just kind of like the general running the show out there at point guard. And Marley, she was a tall, lanky guard that was a good all-around player as far as she could hit shots for us. But again, her length gave, so again, when you lose 3 guards, and that can become a crutch for you when you got 3 new people kind of stepping in. Fortunately, Olivia was one that seen varsity time last year, got time out on the perimeter as well as inside. So that will factor in there, so now you're down to replacing two. And we kind of got things figured out a little bit, but we're only going to get better because of the competition that we're seeing in practice, John.
Well, Coach, as we break down your roster, 18 or 19 players come out, which is pretty darn good considering there are other sports in the school that take young ladies, and then there's the old club volleyball that's taken over 1,500 girls per winter to improve their volleyball, and that's their choice whether they want to wrestle or volleyball. You'll take the 19 players and you'll go the best you can, and those kids are the ones that are committed to your program. If we were going to play tonight, which we're only about 24 hours away from playing Concordia, you're going to go with Olivia Wright, Cassandra Thompson, Addison Butke, Samantha Thompson, and Autumn Lorenz. First of all, talk about your guards and what your expectations are for those three girls.
Well, number one, Samantha's going to start at the one guard. She's been doing a good job, little sophomore. She's got a whole lot of talent that she can play defense. She can play run the show. I look for her to step up into taking over Peyton's spot. She can do it. I know she can. She knows she can. The rest of their teammates believe in her too. But again, she's a sophomore. Just making that step up from playing JV to varsity is a little bit different, but she's up to the challenge. Starting at the two guard, Autumn Lorenz, that's a one guard too. She'll be able to play. Starting a one guard, and Autumn was kind of our main one guard this summer. She'll be able to replace Sam. Need we have to do that? But again, it frees her up to get shots off a little bit. I think she passes from the wing, makes entry passes a lot better. Again, she's going to step up, and she can D up too. Then Liv at the three spot. She's kind of one of them gals that can go in or out, but she's kind of lanky a little bit. She's that's what's going to make her tough defensively, but she's going to be a shooter too. Now, all three of them three guards just got to get some confidence, because that's something that we struggled with last year. Our perimeter players, or our guards, making shots consistently. We were real streaky, because where we're going to be tough at is inside. Everyone knows that we got two all-league players and an all-state player coming back on the inside. We're going to be great inside. So I'm going to play a sagging zone, and I'm going to make the guards shoot the ball if I'm playing this. So that's where we got to get better. Shooting the ball from the perimeter. I think our guards are up to that challenge. But we still, no matter what, got to work inside to the outside. And Cass will start at the four. She's a great defender. She's got some good post moves. But she's also able to stretch it out, because last year, when I say she was probably our most consistent shooter from the three, but she's just real universal from her offensive game, and then defensive, loose balls, rebounds, she's going to fight through them. Addie, a very good post player. Her true potential, if it comes out this year here, it's just going to make us all the better. An all-state player, a volleyball player of the year. She's got great talent in whatever she does. If we can get all these girls coming out. But again, she's also got range. You got a 6'6" girl that's tough inside, that's got nice post moves. She can also stretch the defense out. So, who knows? Maybe we're going to go 5 out, John. Just dribble, drive, and kick out and shoot threes. Because I told you we got 5 girls that can shoot the 3 ball. More than likely, I'm probably not going to go 5 out. Maybe 4 out and 1 in with Addie or Cass or something like that there. But, we're going to come along really well right now, because them 5 starters could change, because the competition in practice only makes you better. And we got some guards, I think, that can step up with McKenna Channel, that's going to be the first guard off the bench. She's a good shooter. She's one of our better defenders also. So I'm putting another guard in that mix that can shoot. But again, consistently, we all got to shoot the ball better from the outside. And then we got Reagan Cheney, a post player that, she's kind of a gangly old girl. She still hasn't came to her true potential. I think she's going to be tough. Offensively, she's got some moves, and she can shoot the ball, and she can even stretch the defense. But she's just got to work a little bit harder playing defense. When you're tall and you can reach and get a rebound, she's got to use her body a little bit more, blocking out. And if she comes around defensively, she's going to be a top post player that can come in and score. But we got to get her playing a little bit better defense, and I know she will because she's been having a really good attitude. Then we got a new gal, Aslan, that came from up around the Chicago area or something. She's a senior. She started on her high school team last year. She's going to come off the bench a little bit, or she'll come off the bench. Again, when you come off the bench, probably how you play is, if you're playing good, you're probably going to see more time. Or if somebody's playing bad in front of you, you'll see more time. But right away, she was honest with me when I talked to her the first time at a football practice. She says, I do this well, I do this well, I don't maybe necessarily do this. She will fit into it, especially when she's like everybody else learning the system. Hopefully we can get her in there in rotation a little bit. And I look to be really tough with who's ever starting and the girls that can come out. And I haven't even mentioned, I'm going to say, some younger girls and that I think got potential, probably not maybe right now at this time as starters, but all of them got good things that, one day it might be Sue that's playing because she can hit shots in a sagging zone. Or it might be somebody that we need a defensive stop that can come in, JV players that will limit their minutes to step up. And then we got a couple of young girls that are just all around good players that, I look to get involved in the system as we develop throughout the year.
Stort's Stop and Shop downtown Glen Elder. Nancy and Dave have fishing and hunting supplies. They also serve the best pizza and the best ice cream around the Lake Waconda. Dave recently bought several RV-related items from Becker Camper Center. Open 8 to 8 daily downtown Glen Elder. Well, Coach, defense wins championships unless you're legendary Coach Darrell Walters and he has one girl shoot all the shots and make all the points, but you've always been a defensive-minded guy, and to the frustration of myself at Osborne and Darren Grauer-Holtz at Kennington, you always had a great defensive game plan, whether it was shutting down the best two scorers or slapping a press on all of the five girls. And talk about your expectations for the Lady Trojan defense.
Well, I'll tell you, through the years, my philosophy has been defense. I'm not opposed. We're going to play man. We're going to play strictly man. I'm going to tell you that. But I'm not opposed. It's like if I think we need to play a zone in order to shut you down, or what's best to shut somebody down, I'll play zone. I'm not opposed to combination defenses. Some of the best runs that we had at the South School here in town, we played combination. I don't want your number one, I don't want your number two players to beat us. If 3 beats us, I'm okay with it. I want 4 and 5 to beat us. So that's how you kind of get into running with what you feel likes best. Because we got good girls that I think will be able to play man pretty much. If we can get it done in man, we're going to get it done in man. But I'm not opposed to bellering something out in the middle of something and switching up just like that there. And that's something that the girls have to get used to, commanding on the fly. And I think they will, especially as time goes on this season, just kind of like the press. Everybody likes a pressing, trapping type game. It makes fun. But yet, as kids develop, and we see it, in the college level too. Man, they're playing a great 1-3-1 or a full court zone press or something. They're making something out of it. Well, I'm one that likes to be. It's sporadic. Going to call it here and there. We're not going to press from the start to the finish, more than likely. But again, you have to be flexible in what you do defensively, I think, in order to make yourself better and for the kids to understand, hey, we got to stop these people here, focus. And if you can't stop them, if we're not giving enough help defensively with penetration or something, we got to look to do something different. And not faulting the defense, because I like to stay with it, because I'm a very patient man. No matter what anybody thinks, I'm patient. I like to get excited, but I'm patient. I'm not afraid to bark things out, but I'm patient. It's like through the years, an assistant coach, hey, I think it's time to do this here. It's like, yeah, I think it is too. It was time probably 2 minutes ago. But why isn't this working? It's because probably one person isn't doing it right, and a timeout isn't going to switch up things. Sometimes I let them play because they got to learn by error. And again, we look to make a good run here at Beloit, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. We got good girls, we got good assistant coaches. Coach Kresin Jones. Again, she played with Shauna in the era, the time that Shauna played back in the Wakanda Jewel days, and out at Fort Hays, and she's got a great motherly. She knows the game of basketball. Coach Greg Rao, he's phenomenal as far as his knowledge and stuff. And, him getting to know me a little bit better will help us become a better coaching team, as well as me also understanding him a little bit too. And then I'm also excited because Coach Gates, Avery, she played for me. It's great. She's been doing a great job with the junior high girls. I see it in the freshman girls this year of what they learned from her last year, because they do run some of the same sets, and the philosophies kind of similar. They're not exactly alike, because Coach Gates, she kind of hates me once in a while, but that's good. You got to have a good love-hate relationship. So I'm looking forward to building on our relationships as coaches and building the relationship with the girls. And we're going to come together, and we're going to be one good team by the end of the year, John.
Well, Coach, on a sad note, we lost three great men in the state of Kansas that were involved with basketball in one form or the other. Longtime official and AD from Osborne, Doug Ublaker, lost his life to cancer. And then recently, Chris Rohrbaugh, longtime coach at Ellis and great official and friend, lost his life this week. And then many people didn't know about Lawrence Trippy, Earl Tripp, lost his life this week, lived a great life, 99 years that he was on this earth. He was a 43 graduate of Beloit High. He was a clock operator for 40 years for football and basketball at Beloit. I know you probably had heard of both Chris and Lawrence, but particularly your thoughts on losing a great man and friend in Doug Ublaker.
So, yeah, we'll get on to Doug, but so 99, you turn 99 upside down, it's 66. Man, I got a lot of life ahead of me. Yeah, I hope I make it to 66. Anyway, Doug, I'll tell you, Doug Ublaker, he was a heck of a nice guy, good friend. He became a good friend, a great official. I thought everything Doug did throughout his life, how I knew him, was superb. When I say I didn't like him to start with, as a young coach, it's like, why? Man, you're the worst official I've ever seen, Doug. I can't believe that. You know, probably if you go to Beloit, Cocker, anywhere around, there's going to be them people that dislike you because of whatever reason. That's not a problem. You know, Doug was consistent. Doug was always consistent throughout his life as far as being an AD, being a coach, officiating. That's the reason why every call's controversial. Half the people are not going to like it, half the people are going to like it, you know? But as a coach, the longer that you're around and you see them develop, it's like you knew you could go into a ball game and it was going to be called consistently. I may not like it, but it was consistent. You know, because I used to beller and stand, and yeah, he has teed me up before. But as life went on, I finally realized, hey, he's doing his job. He's being consistent. And we've won ball games because of him being consistent, because he was going to call a foul when a foul needed to be called. A foul is a foul. I'm sorry, some of you people that like good, nice hand checks or something like that there. A foul's a foul. It needs to be called.
Well,
Doug
Coach
was a good man.
Coach, and respect to Doug U. Blaker, Chris Rohrbaugh, and Lawrence Trippy, Earl Tripp, great basketball fans, men, family members. With all respect to them, we want to wish their families well, and hopefully they can get through this week. It's been a tough week for me, knowing two of the three very, very well. And life isn't easy. Life is short. You got to enjoy it every day. And you got a golden opportunity here with the Beloit Lady Trojans. Best of luck to you tomorrow night and all year. And we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks a lot, John.